Yes, last week WHO designated the B.1.617 variant as a variant of concern, and we seem to have more than 300 cases as of last week. I know you say the variants are basically, we treat the variants all the same. Is there any change as a result of this designation from public health's point of view?
Yeah, no, we've been following all of them, and as you know, we've posted that on the BC CDC website, and you can see there are many different strains of the virus that are being transmitted between people in the province. Not surprisingly, the B.1.617, and there's several different, slightly different versions of that. So it's the B.1.617.2 that the WHO has declared a variant of concern as opposed to a variant of interest, and it is because there's indications from the UK and from India that it is more transmissible. So that is something we are obviously concerned about. So we are watching that carefully. We did have introductions of that, and it has spread in some limited transmission, but this is where we go back to the importance of reducing transmission of all strains in the community, because you cannot tell ahead of time which strain somebody is infected with. So it is important for all of us, and we've seen that as we've taken outbreak measures. The P1 has been decreasing all across all of the strains that we're seeing go down when we're following the important things that we need to do to stop transmissions.
So regarding the effectiveness of vaccines on the variants that seem to keep coming and evolving, what can you give as some level of assurance to people that getting any of the vaccines, and maybe some are better than others in this regard, will help carry them through this evolution of variants over the next couple of months, at least in this year?
Yeah, these are these are really challenging questions. So we know from the UK that both AstraZeneca and Pfizer are very effective in the real world against the B.1.1.7, which is the predominant strain that was circulating in the UK for much of that, and we've seen that here as well. We've seen in the data that we have from the whole of community approach we took in Whistler, where the predominant strain that was being transmitted there was P1. And when we immunized in that community, in a community basis, we've seen rates drop off and stay down. So that tells us in the real world that this vaccine is working well against the strain that was causing the outbreak in Whistler. So those are the things that we're looking at as we go. Right now, we don't have a lot of many other strains that are causing illness, so it's hard to tell just from the data we have here. There has been some concerns with the effectiveness of some of the vaccines against the 135, the B.1.135, which is the strain from South Africa. We haven't seen a lot of that here. We had a bit of a blip where there was some introduction, but as we've controlled the transmission, it's sort of faded away. So we will continue to watch that, but what we can tell you here in BC, and the data I presented last week, and the vaccine effectiveness data, which the BC CDC is pulling together, and we'll talk more about later this week, is that the vaccines we have are working to protect against everything that's circulating in BC right now.